And starts recording. Oh, hey guys, welcome. Here we are with Amy Schumstein. Oh my gosh, I blew it. Schumstein.
You did it.
Okay, thank you so much. So Amy and I have been talking because Amy caught my attention in a group that I'm with. There are a lot of women that I talk with, and you know how you just click with people? Well, Amy and I think we just had this little banter going on that was just so fascinating, right? We had a great time when we first met. And she was telling me about this way that I too could have a green thumb. Now, I have to tell you, I have not purchased what she's going to be sharing with you. So I don't have any firsthand information, but I believe that this is an awesome way for those of us who either live in the city or don't have the time to really have a full-fledged garden, actually get that nutrition of just picked fruit because foods, excuse me, because we know the longer it takes to go from the farm to the store to our table, the less nutrition each one of those has. So how good would it taste, right? If you could pick that carrot, that vegetable, that radish, that cucumber, if you could just pick it and then put it right on your table. I mean, would your kids start eating their vegetables? So Amy, go girl, take it away. Tell us about this amazing product.
First of all, thank you so much, Sally, and you did great on the name. And Justin, what you said, I have so much that I already want to just like say, you're right. Tower to table is a simple way that we refer to it because literally you go from your tower to your table. It's not, an average of 20 people touch your food before it gets to your house. Well, this cuts down on a lot of exposure to different people's germs, and that's a good thing right now.
Yeah.
It also is picked, most of the stuff in the grocery store is picked before it's nutritionally ready. So think of, a pregnancy. Those last few weeks are really important. Same with produce. And so if you're skipping that piece, you're not getting the dense, nutritionally packed stuff that you can from your produce. And those are just two facts. I mean, green bananas is a perfect example. It doesn't have all that it's got potentially for you if it's a green banana, and tomatoes and everything else. The other thing that people don't realize is even though you can buy organic at the grocery store, they have laws that they can still ship it. Most of our tomatoes come from California. They can still ship it in a gas truck because that's not considered growing it. And so you're still getting stuff that looks good, but doesn't have as much flavor, nutrition, and so forth. And you may have grown up like I did. Everybody had a little garden in their backyard. You got those tomatoes and they were fantastic tasting. There is nothing like it. There's just nothing like it.
Just biting into it and the juice. Oh my gosh, yes.
I know, it was down your arm. I know.
Yes, it was like candy.
So let me start by saying that my passion for this is twofold. It came about because there's such a carbon footprint that comes about with gardening and eating in general. And so I wrote down, I had just read this the other day. Okay, beef takes 2,600 gallons, and you're talking just a beef steak on your plate. Ice cream takes 143 gallons. Water, I'm speaking about, by the way. Green beans take 21 gallons to grow, and milk takes 65 gallons. So if you take all of that water it's not being wasted, it's being used. But we have a water crisis. We have shortages places. We have droughts. People in the southern area won't say that with the weather that we've had the past few years, but in general. And like I said, the carbon footprint is part of that as well. And bees, we're losing our bees because they're going to these factories, and you can read about this too, and they're blue because they're eating this modified M&M stuff. And there was a whole article that I read on all these blue bees, and they died, of course.
Oh, right. Oh.
So when you have real food, bees want to be around it too. So from the saving the planet perspective, this is a really good thing. You're using 90% less land and 90% less water. And the way that the water works is you have a 20-gallon tank at the bottom. Oh, let me show you a little picture.
Oh, do.
Here it is empty. So it's got lights on it. It has the bottom, bucket.
Like grow lights? It has grow lights?
Yes, you can get a version for indoor with grow lights,
Oh,
and people in apartments. Actually, I know a lot of people that in the winter months, like you live in a colder state, they can use it indoors as well for lettuces and stuff. And then here's one that would be full of produce.
that's beautiful. I mean, could
Yeah, they're
you
fun.
put that
I
in the
mean, they're really
corner of
pretty.
your living? I mean, that could be your, instead of having a tree in the corner of your living room or those plants that you have to put in and out, you could still put that in and
There's a
out.
WPN. There's a WPN member that has it in her bedroom because it has a waterfall sound as well.
Mhm.
And it's like that white sound that helps her fall asleep. Yeah. And then she can wake up and get whatever she wants. I know, it's crazy.
It's
A
wonderful.
friend of mine has a couple in her garage, and she'll go in her garage. It's dark in a garage, there's no lights. So she has these lights on her tower. So let me backtrack.
Yeah, sorry.
The tower is an aeroponic vertical growing system. And aeroponic is not the same as hydroponics, because with hydroponics, things sit in water. Aeroponic is the movement of water. So it has the waterfall sensation. It's a big pump that's in the bottom.
Mm.
And by the way, everything that you need to start growing comes with it. I'm talking the pump, the timers, the hoses, the screws, the everything to put it together. And there's multiple videos, tutorials, easy booklets. If I can do it, anybody can. So you put it together. The waterfall has the pump goes in. The water starts to cascade up and down, so it feeds the roots. Now there's nutrition that comes with it as well. And let me tell you the history of these. A guy by the name of Tim Blank worked at the Land in Disney, and he's the one that, have you ever been on that ride, the Land? You go through and there's these giant eggplants from the ceiling and stuff like that.
No, I haven't.
He was part of all of that study and just evolution of aeroponics back then. And we're talking, 15 years ago or so now. And he thought, if I'm doing this for this big giant company, why can't I take this, a piece of information and do it for people's homes? And it's gotten much larger than that. But so he took the technology, which is very basic. Like I said, it's a pump and some water, you're moving it, and nutrition, and a seed. And said, but he used food grade plastic. He used a white that is a particular white that's a bug deterrent. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of thought and preparation that went into this for people's homes. So anyway, you put it together, you start growing off of it. The seeds that come with it, you can use those. They're organic. It's a variety. They change it up from time to time. I was just telling Sally, if you get cucumbers and you don't like cucumbers, put that one aside and go buy a different organic one that you want to put in. There are seedling starters all around the country now too. There's some in Florida, Arizona, different places, and they will ship you the little seedling starter. I don't think I have a close-up. I really was thinking I would be able to go outside today, but it kind of got not so nice, so I can't go out and show you. But here's like a close-up.
Oh, of getting a seedling if you ordered. Can you order that from your company also? Or is that something just you'd get from like type in Google search seedlings? And
there's connections that they have because they start them in it's called rock wool that they start them in. And it's like a porous volcanic rock that's been spun. And so the roots can come through the bottom.
yeah.
And that's how they get water to them by the hole in the tower itself, is
Oh, that's so
hollow.
cool. Well, yeah,
So
I
the
mean,
water goes
when
through.
Mount St. Helena erupted, and
Yeah,
then it didn't take long before everything started growing again. I mean,
right.
lush and everything. I mean, it's crazy
Lush.
how much
There's
nutrition must be in volcanic.
there's a company too that doesn't like that idea, so they came up with coconut husks. And the outside of the coconut husk, they
Yeah.
spin those into a little holder, and then you can put that into your tower as well. So it's all preferences and
Right.
where you might live closer to one of those than another one. So where are we? We got everything in our box that arrived.
Yes.
We put it together in one day. We can start with a little greenhouse. They give you a little like a little plastic packaging that you can start the seeds or you can use these seedlings. It takes about 4 weeks. I have a little video of, I wonder if I can share my screen. It's a quick
can.
video of 4 weeks of growth.
Okay, I'm going to give you permission. You go ahead. Do you know, this sounds like something that is awesome for teachers to do with their classrooms. I mean, if you get into a classroom again, it would have been awesome if I would have had this out last year when everybody was trying to figure out what to do with their children, right? But yeah, this is something that has a lot of uses. Hey guys, and Amy, can I jump ahead and you've got it already. Okay, go ahead.
Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
I can pause it. Okay, there we go. So this is just 4 weeks.
Oh my goodness. I see squash.
It's amazing.
Oh my goodness, look at those greens.
It's amazing.
And
let me tell you,
you get your instant gratification.
Yes, you do.
We're so used to.
And the bunnies don't get it out of the ground instead.
That's right. You don't have to put your chicken wire out in the back.
No. But let me tell you, you mentioned schools. So the school that I'm connected with right now, they have one, and it qualifies them for the STEM programs. And so there's grant money that's available. And usually schools have more than one. There's a school up in New York. The guy I follow, he's amazing, called the Green Bronx Machine. And they changed multiple kids' lives because these kids weren't eating. They didn't know that lettuce didn't come from aisle 9. They had never seen eggplants and cucumbers and broccoli stems. And here they are growing. His philosophy was put a seed in the ground, put a seed in the tower. And it's just been amazing. Good nutrition has changed them going to school and not skipping school, graduating. I mean, I won't go on and on, but yeah, these are awesome to have in schools, and the grant money that's available, and then they qualify for STEM.
My gosh, Amy, you just have me thinking, because I just wrote down that I have a dream to start a foundation for the food deserts that we have in our cities. I mean, my gosh, this could be a solution, or at least the beginning of a solution for something.
Correct.
Like that. It sounds like it already has been.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that. And
because they grow so much and so much faster that people, it's not just that the kids were eating off of it, but they were able to take it home to their families. And so you're right, these food deserts, and there's real food insecurity. I sent one to a school in Liberia last year. And so now, they finally got it together. For them, it's a little bit of electricity insecurity too. So we got some things working. They got a generator as a backup plan, because you don't want to have this full tower and then the electricity goes out. Right. But how fun is it that these kids can now come to school and get a true green meal, right, and not have to worry about grains and things that aren't necessarily and nutritionally dense. Yeah,
and talk about water shortages, right? You don't want to have to be lugging, Now, how tall are these things?
Well, they're 5 foot tall, just the base. Now you can get extensions to make them taller, but I always say, like, I can reach the top of mine right now. If I put more on it, I don't know that I can reach it, so I don't need to. No, but you can also switch out the top piece too and do microgreens, which are very nutrient dense. And also it can be a way to then filter and starting more plants to move into other parts of your tower. I actually have 2, and one of mine is 7 years old next month. I got it for Mother's Day, and it was literally the gift that keeps on giving. It has been an amazing addition to our nutritional, benefits and diet. And I will say too, not last year, because that was COVID, but the year before, I planted tomatoes in April. And one of those little containers of tomatoes is like $4.99. Yeah. I got tomatoes off of my tower until November. Wow. And so think of all the savings and trips to the grocery store. And when you only want one stalk of celery, you buy the whole thing, and then 3 weeks later, it's slimy in your vegetable drawer. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not wasting it. Yes, there's so much of a usage and saving of money and time, and you're not, I take cilantro off of it all the time and just add a little bit. How often does cilantro go bad?
Right, right. You have to eat a lot of cilantro. Well, I like cilantro, so it goes fast in my house. But I hear what you're saying. And you also shared a really cool story. Hey guys, I wasn't kidding when Amy, and I said Amy and I can talk a lot. But you were telling me about in a baseball field, they've got some of these, and on the top of yeah, go ahead and tell me about those different places, different ideas.
Yes. So there was a vegetarian that's a baseball player for the Giants out in California. And he was disappointed that he felt like he couldn't go and get stuff to eat at the stands.
Right.
So there is now a whole farm out there, and you can see it whenever they're playing baseball games. They'll have little glimpses of it in the outfield, but you can sit in that area and they'll make your salad. There's like 100 of them in the top of the Chicago O'Hare Airport, and it's enough to sustain all of the restaurants' fresh produce within the airport, so that they don't have to travel and go outside for things. And that you're allowed to go up and look at.
That
I have friends that have done it. Yeah. But
that
on top of, I'm sorry.
No, I just was applauding.
Yeah. On top of roofs in New York City, the Book Bell and Candle, I think it's called. They have a whole tower up there. They walk up the steps, they get your lettuce, your salad, they bring it back down. So restaurants, ballparks, I think nursing homes could benefit from these too, because of the peaceful sound of the waterfall. Like, it's sort of a tranquilness. And as you get older, it's sort of nice to have something consistent for these people to look at. That's why I think they do well when they have pets and things. Well, this is something they can visit every day and eat off of also,
Right. And remind everyone when they used to work in their gardens.
Correct.
I'm thinking we have a green high school in Alexandria. I mean, it was like the first green high school in Virginia or something like that. It's amazing. But they have their whole roof is a garden. And they have a culinary school that uses that garden, herbs and everything that they grow, and they make their meals from that. Well, this is a nice augment to that. Some things just don't do so well, you need more. It's just a variety. It's another way. This isn't maybe taking place of your garden, because there's something too about getting down in the dirt. But this is a great thing for those of us who, I mean, I have a black thumb. I have tried to grow things, and you and I have talked about this, because I don't have sun. So I would have to, I had the most anemic looking carrot for all the effort that I put into it, that I just said, I'm not, one stalk of broccoli and this kind of, sad looking carrot. But this would have been perfect for me.
Yeah. And I will say too that it does not grow root vegetables. So no carrots, no potatoes, no onions. You can grow green onions, but not like the big bulb onions.
That makes sense.
So there's even a few, right. So there's even a few things that can't, but it will grow flowers. And I actually had a woman in Pittsburgh that once she was done, doing her vegetables for the year, she put some beautiful flowers and put it out in front of her house. She's like, I'm showing this off to everybody. And it came out really pretty. And you can grow edible flowers even if you choose to.
True. That's true. I mean, who needs a greenhouse?
Yeah.
You just, instead of buying flowers all the time, or if you like flowers every week on your table,
exactly.
Grow your own.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very creative.
Yeah. So vegetables, herbs, fruits. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a variety for sure that you can get off of it.
And thank you for clarifying the no root vegetables. That's good to know. I mean, it makes sense, but it's also good that you said that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, I'm waiting. I haven't seen any questions in. I've been asking enough, but if anybody has any questions, please type them in the comment section. Also, Amy, there is a way for people to be able to learn more about this product. So where would they, if they wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
Holistic Healing with Amy. That's my website. And there's a spot under there that says Grow with Me, I think it is. And, just as a Mother's Day special until Mother's Day, if you're interested in buying one, we can do one of two gifts. I will make sure that you have your seedlings to start, or we can do a water filter, because some people feel like their water supply is not up to par.
Yeah.
It usually is sufficient for the tower, but one of those two gifts is my gift to you for for Sally having me on.
So, and that is holistichealing.com.
With Amy, Holistic Healing with Amy.
Okay. I'm writing this down because I didn't do it before. And then
The other thing too is if you just want to see the tower, like, because my website has other offerings, I'm a Reiki master and different things. But if you just want to look at the tower things, you can do www.amysz for my last name .towergarden.com, and that'll take you directly to just
perfect.
tower, all things tower. And there are Facebook pages, people that have questions. People always ask me too, how about animals? Well, I have an apple tree in my backyard. I feed plenty of animals, chipmunks, squirrels, deer walk around, and yet none of them bother the tower. And I think, or, you know, people that I've talked with that have more knowledge than I do, that it once again goes back to that water sound. You know, when it's 15 minutes on and 15 minutes off, they make it curious enough, the animals, to come close. But then once the water turns on, it's like, this isn't natural. This isn't someplace we're supposed to be. And they skedaddle. So I really don't have issues with animals. You know, there's not bunnies coming up on it or squirrels sitting on the top munching. I would not be very happy if I had to fight off my squirrels for that. And I have plenty of squirrels. They take one bite out of the apple, leave it, go to the next apple, leave.
Oh, that's right. It's kind of like licking all the stuff on the plate. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, that is awesome. That is awesome. So yes, I appreciate your heart, and your offers and your giving and the information that you have shared with us. So, is there anything else that you would like to share? I can't think of anything. I think you've really covered this and piqued my interest.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to me personally. That's fine too. I feel that, like I said, this is on a passion of mine because it's not just good for me, it's good for the earth, you know, it's good for the world. And to talk about it just makes me happy. You know, it's the gift that keeps on giving. I'll just say that again. It's been a delight for me. It's inspired my kids to eat more fruits and vegetables, especially. And that's a bonus, you know?
Yeah, that is, and it's all contained in a nice, easy to deal with thing.
Pretty. Yep, it's pretty. You wheel it in, you wheel it out. People that have issues with cold weather, I'll mention that. You can put a fish tank heater in the bottom, which is typically enough. Some people in Florida worry about it being too cold. In that case, you can throw in some ice cubes in the middle of the day.
Really? You cool them down with ice cubes?
Pull it down. You can cool the water down with ice cubes or heat it up with a fish tank heater. Yeah. And if it's going to freeze, you can throw a blanket over top of it for, you know, just a 9 or 2 here and there.
Right. Just like you.
I'm in Atlanta. If you're within if you're within an hour drive too, and you need help setting it up, I am known to drive and help people set them up. So I'll just put that out there.
Well, thank you so much, Amy, for your generosity. That was truly, truly amazing.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you.
You know I love you, so.
You are an amazing woman. Love you back. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope you learned a lot. Ask Amy any questions you have. She's there for you. I tell you, she's a great person. All right? See you guys later. Bye, Amy. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye now.